I want to note a couple things about the following video. First of all, I want you to note that how the technology has gotten better. I started out filming with my phone, and then I moved to a GoPro camera on my laptop in low light, so that kind of sucked. Now I'm using a Canon R6 with I'm using an L-type lens, and so it's even in low light. I mean, I don't have any lights on right now, and it's still doing a pretty good job on the image. You may not see it as well in the final image, but yeah, it's definitely got some pretty high resolution to it. Anyway, I just wanted you to note how I have gradually gotten a little bit better each time I film or put out a new product, and I just hope that you appreciate what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. If you don't notice the difference, please go back and look at my previous videos and see how things have worked out. So I'm just hoping to get a little bit better, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of effort. And I hope you stay with me on this journey and see where I'm at, what the difference is between now and a year from now. Just like, the last 4 or 5 months of just, getting updated and increasing in tech and filming and using different softwares and things like that. So hopefully you notice, and hopefully you enjoy, and I hope you get something out of this next video.
Car is currently running. You hear it, there's no miss. It does have a loose heat shield. Makes a little noise. Just rattles around a little bit. You see the RPMs. Runs well. Semi-clean. There's no oil anywhere, anything like that. AC works well. Everything is as it should be. Runs well. Pretty much had to repair this back corner panel. It was completely collapsed in back underneath there. We pulled it out. Still have an issue here and here because the whole pan back there is a little bit squished, and this is the reason why this body line doesn't line up right here, is so the whole pan, it's not affecting the undercarriage at all. It's actually bent just after the undercarriage, so it's not actually affecting the suspension. This is also another piece that I got to address. Something hit it, like acetone or whatever, but it actually removed the paint. So this is one of the things I'm going to be working on along with the other car. I haven't given an update on the Sonata. Anyway, so I was working on this, and I used an electrical dent puller, and what it does is it welds pieces to the metal, and then you're able to pull them out. So I got it pretty flat. As you can see right here, I used one of these new setups, which allows you to take like different angles and things like that. So on the truck, or on the SUV, I was able to take from the other side, or the angles from the other side, and match it up with the angles on the bad side to actually get the same movement. So say like this right here, for example, I just kind of match this up, get it all squared out like that, and then come over here and kind of do the same thing. And you can see that the lines are really close. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not a body expert, but it's just something that can be done at home. And that was kind of the whole point, was it can be done at home. Now for the bad news, and this is the whole kind of like a serious, I learned from this, right? So I was using Bondo, and I put it out there. This stuff set up in like 5 minutes. So obviously I have the wrong Bondo, because it says it's sandable in 30 minutes, and so it created this mess right here. So I'm gonna have to sand it down. 80 grit was fine, because I was gonna just go for filling holes anyway. So obviously I'm trying to avoid, taking off the Rogue thing. This is not a huge issue, This is just a kind of a carryover from last year. So I had to replace like the tail light and the bumper cover and things like that, and I had to paint match the bumper cover, which is not real great. This is just kind of like what I'm ending up with here. It's not going to be perfect by any means, but it's going to look like it didn't have an accident, or you have to come up really close in order to tell it had an accident. Most of the cars have dings and everything like that. This is not going to be an exception to the rule. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to come back in about 15 minutes, sand this down. Obviously, at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use glazing putty. Glazing putty, what it does is it fills in like little holes. We'll get this as flat as we can, put another layer on. We'll do some guide coat and things like that. And I'm not going super cheap, but I'm not going all out on, you know, fixing this door. The only reason why I am fixing this door is this door was another $400. Got $5,000 wrapped up into this car, and I could sell it for maybe $5,000. So it's just, you gotta watch on scope creep. You know, it's got great wheels on it. It's got low miles. It's got 80,000 miles on it. Runs great, drives great, everything like that. So I've been using it for DoorDash, so I'm getting my money out of it that way. You know, it does need new tires, spray paint, but my original paint for the car actually goes in the bottle, and then there's an aerosol that goes over the top of it. So that's going to help, you know, paint match a little bit better. Also, I'm going to use white primer at the end to help match. When I did this one right here, this primer, or this gray was a little too dark and a little too deep, and so up here lighter, down here is deeper, and it doesn't quite match exactly. I'm going to try to use some white primer to actually solve that problem. So anyway, that's it for now.
So a few weeks later, that car had a black patch, you know, on it. It wasn't the white primer like I talked about. I actually did use the white primer eventually. But coming up, you'll see what I did next.
Okay, getting this down. It's pretty flat. Not looking for perfect. Again, you know, my goal is to actually make it look like it's used. However, even at that point, it's actually pretty good. It's really flat. I'm gonna go ahead and open it so you guys can take a look here. It's pretty smooth. I've worked it like multiple different times. Had so many dents in it, and I brought all the dents out, and it's got the thinnest of coats of Bondo and glaze on it. So this white right here is just another primer, just to ensure that while I drive it tomorrow, it'll be okay. And then on Monday or Sunday, I'm going to go ahead and strip everything and get it ready for actual paint. So I'm going to do a blend. So I'm going to work it in and out and do a feather coming up to the edges right here. So the edges are going to be solid, mask the rest around here. So just for the blending. So we're just going to feather it in for blending and see how it works out. Worst I can do is it be silver and have metallic in it. The bumper's definitely not perfect. It's got some blemishes in it, and that just needs to be sanded down and maybe worked on. This edge right here still needs to be pulled out just a little bit because the body line right here doesn't match, so that needs to be pulled out just, you know, a quarter of an inch, you know. So but we're getting there. Moving up front here, definitely still need to adjust the headlight right there. The other headlight is crystal clear. I need to address this right here. I actually dremeled this out, so I just need to put some replacement filler in here, and then, you know, like these little pieces right here, they just need to be masked out and blended. And then this right here, I'm going to put in the lightest metal glaze right here, fill that in. Same with over here, just gonna sand this down a little bit and put some glaze in here, and then call it good. The body line is still in here. The only missing one is right here. Actually, it may not even be missing. That might have been blended out. So this needs to be sanded down, and then we're going to shoot some silver with it. We're going to mask this out, blend it in with the rest of it. So this right here is all going to get blended in. So we'll blend that in right there because of this right here. And then down here, we've got the same thing going on. We're going to do some blends, and that'll be it. Oh, I did forget about this one new side. Woman the other day backed into me. Yeah, of course, you know, she hit the bumper. I thank God, because otherwise she would have hit the door. So just some polyester, I think, and then fix that, and then we'll blend it in also. This car will be complete at that point, so it'll be ready for sale. Again, this one's got 82,000 miles on it. Just has some minor blemishes to it. So we'll zoom out. It's a Nissan Rogue, 82,000 miles, leather interior. It's got the SV package, but it's not an SV. It's actually SL, I think. So some of these don't come in all-wheel drive. I didn't know that. So it's got all the stuff, backup cameras, the whole works. Got a nice set of wheels on it, brand new tires. This is good. I'm going to probably sell it for 40 or 56 and see what I can get from there. All right.
And then more scope creep continued on down the spiral, as you will see next. How it just kind of trickled down and just kept trickling. What happened was I went ahead and sprayed it and tried to, you know, do a simple correction and everything like that, and it just did not work. It had a lot of garbage in it, the whole works. And so, me being OCD, I went ahead and stripped it, did what I did next.
got it all painted up. I think it laid pretty good. Went ahead and pulled all the tape so it doesn't stick. There's one spot, I mean, other than the garbage that got on here, right underneath here, right underneath the window a little bit. Not that anybody's ever gonna notice that, but I know it's there. I taped the window really, really well, and it got under most of it. It looks like there's a little bit of dirt that's getting up on there. The flake laid really well, and you can see how crystal it is. For the most part, for something that was completely destroyed and actually needed to be replaced, I got all the dents out, pulled them out, and of course filled them and stuff like that. Recreated some corners right here, and right here. Didn't have one at all. It was flat, and if you can see the other side actually has that curve to it. So we went ahead and recreated that curve, and so it looks much better. Did go ahead and just leave these because this is not going to get seen. Those are pretty extreme dents right there. And you know what? Again, it needs to match the age of the car. And this probably should have been pulled out a little bit more to make the extreme edge right there, like this one right here. Nobody's really going to notice this. There was a lot of damage right in this area. Did it need to be done, or did it need to be fixed? Probably not, because of the fact that this is a 2011 Rogue. It has 82,000 miles on it, so that's definitely a benefit for it. The body is not that huge of a deal considering it's a 2011, and but it does have really low miles, and that's going to be its factor. So you can see, it's got a really high gloss to it. And what I did was I put down 2 coats, and then I went ahead and mixed clear in with what was left in the gun, and put some more hardener in there, and yeah, it came out pretty good. So now it's just got to be just a buff and a cut. That's it. And I'm just going to put it back together tomorrow morning and roll with it. All right, have a good night.
And so it still needs to be buff and cut. I went ahead and put everything back together this morning and drove it. Got a wash and everything like that. Got it all set up. It looks pretty good. The orange peel is actually pretty minor. I mean, I'm not going to say that it was great. I mean, no orange peel is, and there are some people that can shoot without orange peel, but I mean, this is a driveway shot. I mean, it's not like I have a commercial paint booth or anything like that. So I don't even have a garage to actually park in. So as far as that goes, I mean, it turned out pretty well. I mean, the orange peel is pretty minimal. I've seen a lot worse. And anyway, the next step is going to be to actually cut and buff, and I will hopefully record all that for you guys. I am looking at some new GoPros and things like that. So obviously the video on my computer is definitely lacking. It could be at better quality as well. And you can see that the light is on my forehead and it's pretty hot right now. But at the same time, I've got a lot of grain in here also. That means that, my camera is not of any quality here. So I'll probably need to upgrade my entire system. Like and subscribe. Hopefully it will continue to do this. Just keep building and building and building. Thanks. Peace.